Welcome back to Talk That Talk with Meesh and Jay. I'm Meesh. To the left of me is my bro, Jay.
Yep.
Look, if you are new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are true here, you already know what to do. Get your smokes, get your drinks, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Your ass should already be
subscribed.
Hey, y'all, please like, comment, and subscribe, okay? We on our way. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers, y'all. We're a small channel. We still building or whatever. And people who don't smoke and drink are welcome as well. Just so y'all know. Okay.
Definitely.
I had to throw that out there. I forgot in the other episode, but I'm gonna do it in this one. All right. But we love everybody. So please like, comment, subscribe. We drop some gems. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know. And we will be in the comments waiting for you. So yeah. Especially on this subject. Especially on this topic. Okay. So I don't know. You got anything you want to bring up before we jump into this?
Nah, I'm good today.
Good today?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
All right, we gonna rock and roll. Y'all lucky today because we usually be, getting our spiel on in the beginning, but we do have 2 topics we want to cover today. So, but the first one, we about to get right to it, y'all. Please like, sub right now. Listen to us. All right. Anyway, so this is an update on Karmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf Texas stabbing, y'all. Of course, anybody who coming in here new to this, Austin Metcalf was unalived at a track meet by Karmelo Anthony. Karmelo Anthony sustains his self-defense case, so he feels that it was self-defense what happened to him, and he felt it was necessary to do what he had to do. Rest in peace, Austin Metcalf, because unfortunately, this all ended so sadly. Like I said, there's been a lot of conversation surrounding this. So this is an update. If you had not seen our previous episode on this, please go back and look at it. Okay. I don't feel like it got the attention it deserved. But if you're on this one, please don't neglect to watch this one. Watch the last one because it was an update. Remember what episode that was, bro? By 143.
43.
Episode 143. Y'all go back to that. That's dealing with there being a witness in the Austin Metcalf case. So please go watch that one. But the update is your boy Karmelo Anthony. His bail was reduced. Y'all know if you're coming in here, if you're already familiar with the story, his bail in Texas started out as $1 million. That's where they started it at. And I guess after he had a hearing and people were saying it was unfair.
That's 100,000 to leave, I believe.
Yeah. So they dropped it all the way down to $250K.
Yeah, okay.
So she dropped it all the way down about $750,000.
So that's $25,000.
Yep.
To get out.
To get out. And he had the money, clearly, because they raised it on Give, Send, Go. And he raised almost $500,000 on Give, Send, Go.
Give and Go.
Give, Send, Go. Yeah, it's new. I think it's new. I didn't know about it.
Heard of it.
All I know is about GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about Give, Send, Go, but Give, Send, Go is supporting his. They said because a lot of people want it removed. They was like, no, we want that removed because how are y'all supporting them? But they like, look, if we supported other people in their endeavors to have proper representation, we're going to support Karmelo Anthony in his self-defense case. So, hey, people can raise as much money as they want on Give, Send, Go. So that's what happened, right? So first thing I want to kind of bring up in this situation too, yet again, I, under no circumstances, I'm going to say this right now. I know I'm speaking calm about it. If y'all seen our other episode, understand. Unaliving anyone under any circumstances other than you felt in that moment your life was about to be taken yourself. That's the only time that is okay, in my personal opinion. Okay? So I'm just going to say that. So I am not in support of Austin Metcalf being unalived. Okay? Unless Austin Metcalf was going to unalive him in that moment, if he felt, and that is something they're trying to prove in court.
Yeah, that's what we got to prove in court.
So, hey, he's innocent until proven guilty. That's what I will say. Okay? Because he's saying it was self-defense. So that means something happened. And he has to go to court and he has to prove what that something was that validated him taking another person's life.
Right. Okay?
So that's the situation. That is the stance that I have on period. Okay? So I'm not a person who is like, oh, he's black, so I gotta stick beside him. Nah. No, because at the end of
what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Period.
Facts. You know, at the end of the day, I cannot sit there and 100% support someone who unalived another person unwarranted. I also cannot support people being bothered unwarranted. So I don't have a significant stance other than I think the whole situation was super unnecessary. It should have never happened or even escalated to where it went. I think Austin Metcalf could have minded his business, him and his twin brother, and vice versa. Or your boy was just supposed to fight. I think having unaliving on the mind was kind of, you know, sometimes, because I'm like, I can't just unalive somebody. I'm sorry.
I mean, or you saying you think he had it on his mind? Shit happens when stuff brews up.
This is true, but it had to been a hell of a brewing.
You know, things happen. You just never know.
It had to been a hell of a brewing. No, but you're right though. I get that part, but it had to be a hell of a brewing because that's what he gonna have to prove in court.
Yeah,
they got to see on that video. It was a hell of a something happening for him.
It was a video.
It's a video. Yeah, they said some videos out there, so we waiting to see.
Well, then he good. He should be good then.
Yeah, if the video proves, because mind you, they say you got to meet with equal force. If he not meeting with equal force,
so he's saying if Austin then attack him,
let's say he jacked him up. That's not equal force. Him taking and jacking him up.
What if his twin brother was in it too?
Now that could be warranted, but I don't know. We got to see what Texas is saying about that. You see what I'm saying? But okay, so the update is that basically they did raise almost $500K, and the parents are saying that because of threats and everything, they're having to move. So this has really turned into a crazy situation. So they are taking some of the money since the bail was reduced to buy a new house. Okay, and maybe even get a car. Now, what do we think about that? Do you think that's? Do you think that's? I mean, even though they saying they have a real reason to have to move because they're being threatened by people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, so do you think using that money for material wealth and material things, and knowing this is technically, I mean, it ain't quite blood money, but it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, so you're saying they benefiting off the money, or can you take it as for what's the boy name? Carmelo.
Yeah.
His well-being, health and well-being.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll do anything to save your kid because you never know. You stay there, retaliation can happen.
This is true.
And then he lets you know he unalive.
Because this is getting kind of crazy. Because you're right. People are thinking about that and considering that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he could be unalive. Somebody could just be like, oh, we're going to get him. Because this has turned into a race thing.
Yeah.
And even though everybody's saying let's not turn to the race thing. Let's not be a race thing. But unfortunately in this world, when it comes to black and white, it tends to always end up being a race thing. And I hate that. I hate that for us. I do. I think that at the end of the day, it was two children. 17 is child. They're children. Two babies.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was two children, and one made a really horrible. I mean, I'm sad that he even felt he had to make that decision, and I'm sad that Austin felt that he needed to be authority, because in that moment, just like his mom said, he stood up and he wanted to do the right thing, but doing the right thing in what way? You see what I'm saying? Like, was he really doing the right thing?
I would hope they would have that trial on TV because I would really want to watch it. Because to me, like I said in the last podcast, it's way more to it and what happened than what we had. That things could have been festered for 2 weeks. We just don't know. It could have went on for a while.
Yeah.
It went on for a while. Because these track meets, if all of them in the track, and this thing went to the same school?
No, they didn't go to the same school.
Okay, so they had track meets
but he lived in the area, so I'm kind of finding it hard to believe that they didn't know each other, or at least
sure they knew each
familiar.
other. And this didn't just happen that day, like fester that day. My man brought a knife there. He probably felt threatened, like, oh, let me just carry this just in case.
Yeah.
My man, the other boy, Austin, approached him. Now I know with track meets, the only time when you with your school, you with your school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You over here, y'all got a section. This school got a section. This school got a section. The only time y'all probably gonna see each other, y'all gather up ready for y'all to get out there and do that.
Absolutely.
That run
Yeah.
or whatever meet or whatever thing y'all do out there. Then you hook up with the other people with the other schools getting ready to run your race or jump the thing or whatever you do.
Right.
So premeditated, I can see it.
You could see it.
I can see it. But something happened way before that to lead up to that point. Because why would what you bringing a knife to track meet for?
And yet again, it was his right to have a knife.
I get it, but
that is a good question. And he has to answer for that. He's going to have to say, hey, I carried this knife for protection. I mean, but why does anybody carry a weapon?
Yeah,
Clearly, he feared in some way that he needed to protect himself at some point.
There you go. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He carried it because he feared either for his life or something he knew was going to go down to happen. And he carried it for that reason.
Yeah.
And when you bring stuff like that, 9 out of 10, you might have to use it. You know what I mean? So
I agree with that.
Again, we just know a little bit of it that day. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure, and I promise you, this has started probably days before, maybe a week before, maybe at another track meet or something like that.
It had to be for him to be okay with that.
Or school versus school, because that happens too.
Yeah.
Where school's beefing and somebody come up to another school to get somebody. Yeah, no, it happens. I've been to school before. It happens.
Because to be honest, you never know. It could have been a rivalry thing going on.
There you go, a rivalry. Yeah, every school got a rivalry.
You know, whether you know it or not, they did you something. Yeah. You know, you just never know.
And now with social media, it's so easy to say stuff you don't want to say, but you say it, I mean, because you think you're macho, and you over there, that school, and y'all on social media throwing jabs at each other, thinking nothing may come up of it, but it will, because, again, you got football games, you got basketball games, you got track meets, and y'all going to eventually come together one time. So, his mentality. Now, I think that this is what they're going to look at, too, is kind of like, you know, I know under specific circumstances, fight or flight, you're going to do what you got to do. Yeah. But do you think that this had to already be in him, or do you think it was just... What you mean? In him? Like he was ready to... Unalive. Like he just... No? Nah. Yeah. Because a knife... Yeah. Why not a gun? Why not a gun? Right. Yeah. In Texas, you can easily get a gun from somebody or from store. Yeah. Or a store. That's true. So if he really wanted to do that, he could have got a gun. Because in order for you to get stabbed, you would have had to get close enough to him to get stabbed. And a knife doesn't guarantee death. That is true. It could be either you're scaring him or you just want to cut him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It doesn't guarantee. Or you could shank him a little bit. Yeah. It doesn't guarantee it. You know what I mean? It's not funny. So, I mean, I don't think he wanted to unalive the guy. I just think he just got so mad. Whatever happened that day, he got so mad where he might have blanked out and did what he did, you know? Oh, well. That's my opinion. Yeah. I'm not saying that's fact. I don't know. I wasn't there. Well, we won't know until, like I said, all the facts start coming out, and I really do hope they come out with it. I really do hope, just as public as this has become. I want to look up and see. I'm hoping that's a public court thing. Me too. I want to look it up, and I definitely want to see it. Yeah, I would love to see it as well, because I want to see what could have warranted all of this and how 2 lives are potentially being one life is being destroyed over time, but the one he's gone now, Austin. And over some stupidity, over foolishness. Again, like you said, they're 17-year-old kids. And, you know, when they're kids, anything goes down, anything happens. That's just what they do. They make bad decisions. Yeah, and they think they invincible. Yeah. Kids make bad decisions. People think that 17-year-old is an adult. 17 is not an adult. Even though you just turning 18 and 19, you're still a baby at that age. Right. So you making really shitty decisions. Okay, and if you don't have the proper guidance, and I'm not saying he didn't, he could have, but even the Metcalf twins probably may not have had the proper guidance. You see what I'm saying? Because why did he think it was okay to go over there and move somebody that ain't doing nothing to you? Right. Yet again, that's just my whole thing, that causing trouble. Nothing would have happened had he not. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. And I'm not. That's what they say. I'm not trying to go there now. Again, we hate racism.
That's right.
But I wouldn't be surprised he went over there and used the N-word on him.
He could have.
Move. N-word.
Yeah.
Move. And whatever else he said.
Mm-hmm.
That still don't warrant Carmelo to do what he did.
No,
because you can ignore that. You can go tell it's adults out there. Go get a coach. He got plenty of things to do to stop that from happening. But again, I guarantee he snapped. Whatever this other guy Austin did or said, he snapped.
He did. Oh yeah, he did. So we gonna jump into our next subject, but I did just want to close that out and say, man, I feel bad for the families, especially for the Metcalf family. I get it, you lost a kid, so regrettably, that is a terrible thing to have to feel. No parent should have to be burying their child, especially over foolishness like that, because they don't understand what happened. Nope. They just know one day they sent their child somewhere that's supposed to be safe. Next thing you know, it ain't safe. But also, let's look at this, though. We all have to teach our children conflict resolution. We all got to teach our children about what to do in certain circumstances. Stop giving them a superiority complex and making them think that they can go and mess with people. Leave people alone when they ain't doing nothing to you. Yep. So what? You feel like he didn't belong under there. If he wasn't touching nothing, he wasn't around there wielding the knife, he wasn't shanking people up in there, why was you talking to him? Yeah. Go tell somebody, hey, coach, hey, he don't belong here, right? I'm just letting you know, you might want to go check him out. You might want to, see if he belong over here because he's taking up seats, whatever. Let the coach handle it, a grown adult.
But that's what I'm about to say. Adults, you need to be more vigilant, be more cautious. You keep your eyes out. You can't just be worried about your track team, what's going on. You got to watch everybody. And I'm going to throw just a little blame on you guys for not paying attention of your surroundings. Yep. And seeing what's going on with these kids. I'm sure an argument started. Yep. And it got a little loud and nobody was paying attention. That's right. Somebody could have jumped in and stopped that if they were paying attention to these kids.
It could have saved their life.
Yeah.
Could have saved their life. 100%. Could have saved their life. But all right, we're going to move into our next topic, y'all. And the next topic thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe too if you stayed this long, y'all. 1,000
subscribers is what we're trying to get.
That's right. We're trying to get to 1,000. The goal. Stick with us, y'all. Please, please, please. Okay, so I was watching The Breakfast Club, and they had this woman on there, and her name was Mel Robbins, I believe. She wrote a book called Let Them. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let her... I'm going to play a little clip of her saying what it kind of means, and then we're going to talk about it. Because I just want to know, do you apply this to your life? And we'll go back and forth about it. Let's talk.
I've been using this thing called the let them theory. I love this. I want you to try it. Here's how it works. The next time you feel left out, your friends all go out to brunch together and they don't invite you. Let them. Or maybe the person you're dating doesn't want a commitment. Let them. Or perhaps your spouse does not want to do the 5K with you. Let them. Your company is laying people off. Let them. You spend so much time and energy trying to control other people and getting emotionally worked up about things that are beyond your control. You can tap into peace and true control if you let them be themselves. And here's the other thing. If you let them, people will then reveal who they truly are. And when they reveal who they truly are to you, you now know what you can choose next that's right for you. So let them.
And I think that's a bit of a therapy considering such a heavy beginning of this episode. But what did you get from that when she hit the let them? She's like, let them do what they do.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I get it like, let them do what they do. Mind your daggone business. That's them. That's what they're adults. They can make decisions. Their decisions don't always have to be your decision.
Right.
You know what I mean? You do what you do. You do what they do. Don't get upset. You know what I mean? Because they're doing this, or you may not like what they're doing. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's basically what I got out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So and reason why, because I love this because I am that type of person where I've learned to like let go of control because we want people to understand where we're coming from. You know, I don't know, because I went through a season back in the day of over-explaining myself. I don't know if you ever been through that, but it's kind of like you trying to explain yourself to somebody and they just don't get it to the point where you gotta you find yourself getting irate. You find yourself yelling like, yo, this was my intention. This was, I wasn't even trying to do this. Whatever. You just find yourself over-explaining, or to people who don't even care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Personally, in my personal life, I never had to do that.
Okay.
Maybe at work, I may have had to over-explain something because somebody didn't, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a private guy, so I don't let many people know what I do and how I do it.
Right.
So I never had to explain why I don't want to go nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or why I got to do, because you know how it is. We have a lot of functions, and Jay don't be there. So why do I'm not going to sit there and explain why I don't want to be there. Just let me not be there.
And in that moment, you let them say, and not saying nobody, but you let them say whatever they say, like, oh, well, he too bougie to come to events.
Yep.
And you feel like you don't care.
Yeah, because right? That's just me. I don't care. So,
right.
I don't let people get to me. You do you. Like I said, you do you, and I do me, and we'll be at a good place.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? As long as you leave me alone.
Yeah.
And
I think that's how I feel too. Like sometimes, and I have been this in my life, but I've come to that point where it's like, I've learned to stop caring. It's like, if I do something, it really is because I want to do it.
Yeah,
because
you really care about that.
Yeah, not because I feel like I'm being forced or I got to do it, because I used to be that way. I used to be like, oh, well, if I don't do it,
yeah. Oh, no,
they're going to be mad, and I don't feel like people saying they're going to talk about me, or, I got to invite this person even though I don't want to invite them because I already know, but I'm going to invite them.
I ain't never been that way.
Yeah.
Ever.
See, I had this people-pleasing spirit, and I think that's what this is about. This is about that people-pleasing spirit where you caught up in that loop of people pleasing, right? So I ended up in a little bit of a situation, bro, where, I was chatting it up with somebody, and, I kind of noticed this person getting a little snippy and snappy here and there, and they just a friend. I'm just like,
right.
what's going on? So I'm thinking I try to be like, you know what? I'm the type of person now, I want to address whenever there's an issue. If I feel like there's an issue going on, I want to talk about it. I'm not about to keep leaving stuff up for, what they call? Leaving things for comprehension, for me to keep making stories up about it and trying to figure out why they acting like this. No, I kind of want to have that honest conversation, because that's who I am today. Back in the day, I would have just been like, oh, well, I don't know. I'd have been just thinking like, but I'm too scared to say something to him. No, I'm about to say something, And this person, because I was trying to have an honest conversation, ghosted me. Straight up, haven't heard from him. After that conversation, I ain't cuss him out. I didn't call him no names or nothing. All I did was try to have an honest conversation with them about something. And didn't even get to the point where I said what I wanted to say. It was more about them being mad at me about something, and I'm trying to work it out with them. And they ghosted me. And I said, you know what? Let them. Because they don't belong in my life. Person like that does not belong in my life. Because at the end of the day, I think that if you have an issue with somebody, and if you love them, you talk to them. You have that conversation. If you love them, you will talk about it. You're not going to go behind their back, talk about them. You're not going to go talk shit or and then go back and smile up in their face. I don't have time for the fake shit no more. Yeah. If you love them, bring them to the forefront and be like, hey, not yell, not, oh, you a bitch, just tell them how you feel. And if people can't understand and don't love you enough to hear how you feel, or don't want to hear how you feel, or not mature enough to have honest conversation, let them go. Let them go. That's what I got at the whole let them theory. Yeah. Let them be. Let all these motherfuckers be. Because with your intentions are good, but you can't convince nobody that your intentions are good. You can't convince people of nothing. People gonna see what they want to see. And that's just the truth of the matter. But I think what she's saying is about just stressing yourself out and overexerting yourself to try to prove something to some fucking body. And you don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. Prove it to yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I think, men, I think men have less of a problem with that stuff type of things than a woman.
And I agree.
Because a lot of men, we don't go through that. Me and my boys don't go through that. You know what I mean?
Because men aren't as emotional and don't take things personally.
My man could call me, be like, hey, man, we're going to meet up at Fridays. We're in the cars, blah, blah, blah. And I can be like, hey, man, I'm busy today. He be like, okay, cool. I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's never that back and forth for wondering why he ain't. No, never had to deal with that type issues.
And that's my mindset, too. Like, I let people be who they are. And and that's my thing. And that's why I said I feel like I do, even though, because I was raised around a lot of males. So I do have I'm male-minded. I'm not going to say I'm not a male, but I am male-minded. A lot of stuff to me is unnecessary.
Yeah, basically.
I'm not been to throw rocks and hide my hand and all that with you no more. Like back in the day, I might have done that just because I don't want to have direct conversation. Oh, but if I love you, we're going to have a direct conversation now. Because I don't want to go through that. That's stressful. It creates anxiety. You fucking up my mental health now because I care about you and you fucking with me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what? I've never had an issue with talking to somebody directly. I always say exactly what I need to say. And I think that's because of my management background.
Yeah.
And like at Bowling Alley, I was elected president. I had to bring people to meetings. I had to shut people down, let them know, look, this is what it is. A lot of people come to me like, because they know, look, I ain't scared to, look, I'm going to go to that person like, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Do it or don't, like it or not.
Right.
This is
but
what
you
it
were
is.
never afraid of the person like stop talking to you or leaving your life
no,
or
never.
whatever.
Oh, no.
So you like, you good with that. You like, if they just roll, I'm good.
Never, because again, it's stressful.
It is.
And while I'm going to sit there and worry, life going to go on.
Facts.
You might come back. We might, get it back together. Mm-hmm. If God let it be.
Facts.
If not, then again, you weren't for me anyway. You weren't for my space. So I got other things I got to worry about.
Absolutely. There we go.
Than worry about this person. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
You said that.
Yeah. Got other things to worry about.
And we all got other things to worry about. And I hate to think that also I don't care for people who are entitled to thinking that you have to be this person to overdo, over-explain, overextend. And I think there are some people who think that way. They are entitled that where you think you need to overdo, over-explain. Oh, if I have all these expectations, but I don't want to tell you what exactly that I'm looking for. Like at the end of the day, like if it's that complicated, let it go. Right. Because life is already complicated within itself. People have jobs. People have marriages. Yeah. People have their own health. Yeah. They health and wealth. People got kids. People got their car. It's shit. You looking on the news every day. There's always some bullshit up there. Why? Yeah. Do I want to deal with you? Exactly. That's why.
And the drama.
That's why I don't keep people close like that now, because some people, not all, but some people are really truly drama. And at the end of the day, they could
love drama.
Yeah, and they could care less what you going through.
I don't. I ain't got time for it.
Yeah. Yeah, they could care less what you going through. So you got to let them, especially when people got a lot of drama with them, let them have it just over there. Mm-hmm. Keep that hater shit over there. Keep that drama shit over there. Keep everything over there, because you messing up my good energy.
There you go.
You fucking with my good energy here. I'm trying to be good.
Vibes.
The vibes.
Yeah.
Okay? Bit don't kill my vibes. Now, when you start doing that, this is annoying. But it's okay. It's a certain level of, if you really do care. Here's what I think. Try if you care for somebody. If you want them in your life, you're going to try to talk it out, work it out, whatever. But outside of that, if you realize they're not hearing you, they're not speaking, let them go. Just let them think what they want to think, feel what they want to feel. You don't want to go somewhere, fine. You know people going to talk about you. But guess what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to force nobody to talk about anything.
Yeah.
Just, be adults. If you can't be adults, talk about it. Hey, go about it. Holler at me when you're ready.
Exactly.
And
let them.
Some people just can't stand the truth. That's the bottom line of that.
Jay know the truth. Jay got it. He said right. Some people can't stand the truth and don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
That's it. But if you can't stand the truth, I think you good. But hey, we gotta go, y'all. So look, 1,000 subscribers, y'all, please. I'm Meesh. To the left of me is my bro Jay. Peace.